Hi y'all, are you guys looking for some delicious dump and go recipes to share with your family in weeks and months ahead? Well, I have 3 to share with you guys, and the best part is I call these dump and go package meals. And I'm going to share with you exactly what that means for you guys. Hey y'all, my name is Heather and thanks for joining me here at Finance Working Mama. I decided to do the dump and go meals to sort of help me in the future weeks and months to come. My oldest daughter, Ava, is on a travel lacrosse team this fall, and this is something new for us. So we're getting used to the travel and all the expectations of getting her to practice. So there's a little bit more additional stress than usual. And I wanted to sort of like not make it so stressful for me, because I'm the one planning the meals and getting everyone packed. We are a camping family, and we thought, well, we've got to go away for 3 weekends. Let's just enjoy not only seeing her play and supporting her in her tournament, but also for the whole family enjoying a quick camping trip. So we're taking our camper, and with that, we like to have our meals there. So it controls the cost of where we're staying and the cost of food. It makes it a whole lot more expensive. Less expensive. So I thought, to allow me not to stress out on what we're eating, I would make several dump and go freezer meals, package meals, and put them in the freezer in the camper, and then I don't have to worry about what we need to eat during those quick trips to her tournaments. So I found 3 very delicious dump and go recipes, and what I mean by the package part of it is I'm going to package everything into one package. That means everything to make that an entire meal into one package and put it in the freezer. And so that way, when I'm going to dump that into the crock pot and cook it while we are at that tournament, I can come back and everything is there for me to complete that meal for the family. So let me share with you guys those 3 delicious dump and go recipes.
Garlic butter steak bites. You want to start off with 3 pounds of chuck roast, 3/4 cup of beef broth, a package of the au jus gravy mix, a tablespoon of steak seasoning. I'm adding onion, 3/4 cups of butter. 1/4 cup of butter, and then 8 garlic cloves. Now let's put all of this together. You want to start off with a 3/4 cup of beef broth and add the entire seasoning packets of the au jus. Stir well and set aside. Then you want to start with the 3 pounds of chuck roast. Make sure it's cut into 1 to 1.5 inch cubes. And then you want to add your tablespoon of steak seasoning. As you can see, I'm using that butter steak seasoning I found at Sam's Club, and wow, is it so good, you have to try it. And then I'm adding the onions. The onions is not required in the recipe. I just decided it needed it. I will include the recipe in the description below, and I'm adding a little bit more of that seasoning because, friends, it is so good. I don't think you can under season beef and onions. And now I'm going to add the most important ingredient, and that is the garlic. Now it is requiring 8 garlic cloves minced. Now I am pressing it in because I feel like that just does better, and I'm using fresh garlic, not the garlic. Going all in, friends, fresh garlic. And you're saying that looks like a little bit more than 8, and it is. It was like 6 really skinny ones that I thought, well, we're not going to gents on the garlic. We're adding as much as we can. So it's a lot of garlic. And then I'm adding the last ingredient, which is the beef broth mixture with the au jus seasoning, making sure all of that delicious juice is included into this package. And then you want to seal it. Now remember, we're putting this in the freezer. And so you want to make sure you get out all the air out of your package. Once you have that and it's nicely sealed, just get it all zhuzhed together. Make sure that beef broth and the au jus seasoning is mixed well. Set that aside and there's my baby girl, my oldest, Ava. She's giving me a hug before she goes out to play lacrosse. I have to get my hugs in. They're willing to give them. I'm willing to take them. All right, friends, you want to place your beef mixture into your 2-gallon plastic bag, and then let's add the rest of the ingredients, which is the 1/4 cup of butter to that. Now that all goes into the crock pot to cook. I'm adding 2 packages of instant potatoes. You only need to add water for that. And then a big package of the frozen veggies. Here we go. This is for my family of 4, but those, garlic butter steak bites will feed 10. Let's make some sesame orange chicken, friends. You want to start off with 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, 4 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of orange juice, and 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, or in this case, I'm using the fresh squeezy ginger. Let's mix all of that together into, this is a 2-cup measuring cup. Once you get that all mixed well, then you want to add a teaspoon of sea salt. And this recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper. Friends, I'm just doing a teaspoon because I've got kids in the house, and 2 teaspoons is way too much. You want to set that mixture aside, and you want to take your 2 pounds of boneless chicken thighs and put it into a gallon-sized bag. Now, this particular package is a little over 2 pounds. It's probably like 2 pounds and a quarter. Actually, I think it's 2 pounds, 2.3 pounds, but that's okay. A little bit more chicken won't hurt anyone. It'll just give us a little bit more servings. This particular recipe makes 5 servings, which is 5 bowls. Now you want to pour all of your ingredients into this bag of chicken thighs, and you want to make sure you get every little last morsel of those ingredients because it's packed with flavor. Seal it up really well, get as much air as possible out of it because you want to flatten it in your freezer, and measure it all around. Make sure all that seasoning gets all over those chicken thighs so they can freeze nice and evenly. Now I'm going to package up 2 cups of instant jasmine rice. 2 cups will feed 4 people, nice portions of 4 for 4 people. I'm going to seal that up, get that nice and sealed tight. I don't want any moisture in that rice because, again, I'm packaging all of this together. This, again, makes 5 bowls. You cook this for 8 hours on low. You do your instant rice, which will be done in 5 to 7 minutes. You do your rice, your chicken, top it with some edamame beans, steamed edamame, and guys, you have an entire healthy, delicious meal for your family. This is slow cooked beef stroganoff, and friends, this is what you need to put this meal together. 1 pound of cubed beef stew meat, 1 10-ounce can of golden or just plain mushroom soup, 1/4 of a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm adding garlic, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm adding mushrooms and onions to this recipe. Now let's put it all together. Now, as I mentioned, I'm adding the garlic. This is about a heavy teaspoon of the garlic and a heavy teaspoon of the Worcestershire, 1/4 of a cup of water, and then a can of the cream of mushroom. And I'm using the Healthy Request cream of mushroom. I like to use that because it's lower in fat and lower in sodium. I know a lot of people don't like to use the canned version, but look, guys, I need to cut corners. So I try to feel better by using the low sodium and low fat version. I'm also adding some pepper. That is my choice. It's not a part of the recipe requirements. I will include the recipe in the description below. I'm mixing this all together, friends, so that way it's well incorporated before adding the rest of my ingredients. Don't you like my little bag holder? I know there's some fancy versions you can buy on Amazon, but I just don't need more stuff in my kitchen, so this pot works just as well. I'm adding, of course, the beef, and I've added a half of an onion and about 8 ounces of the portobello mushrooms, baby portobello mushrooms that I found at Sam's Club, a huge package. They came whole, not cut. If you buy them whole, they will last much longer in your refrigerator. I purchased that with a whole huge month grocery haul. If you're interested in grocery hauls, I will include that in the description below. But I added, now keep in mind the mushrooms and onions were in addition, they were not required a part of this recipe. Now I'm measuring it all together and making sure that that mixture of the cream of mushroom and the garlic and the Worcestershire is sort of caking all over the ingredients so it will freeze together well. Now I'm adding the rest of my meal together. This is what's going to complete my meal. I'm adding instant mashed potatoes. Friends, if you choose to do the instant mashed potatoes, you could also do instant rice as well. But I'm doing instant mashed potatoes just because, again, it's quick. It's easy, and I can freeze all of this together. The package for about 6 servings requires about a cup and a third of instant mashed potatoes, a half a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm adding some pepper. I'm going to seal this up very tightly because I don't want any moisture into those instant mashed potatoes because, again, I'm freezing it all together. And the recipe calls for a half a cup of milk to the recipe. So I'm adding the milk as well to the package because I don't want to think about anything that, oh, I needed to add this. It's all together. All I have to do is pull it out of the freezer, and a complete meal is right there in front of me where I don't have to think about anything. I'm adding 4 ounces of the cream cheese that goes into the slow cooker, and then 2 tablespoons of butter, which will go into the instant mashed potatoes. Now, as you can see, I'm putting everything in a 2-gallon bag. The slow cooker portion of the beef and mushroom and onions, the milk for the instant mashed potatoes, and then, of course, don't forget the butter and the cream cheese, as well as the instant mashed potatoes. And then for my green veggie, I'm using frozen broccoli. I'm going to steam that and put it alongside the beef stroganoff. And friends, this is it. A complete meal ready for me to pull out, defrost, and cook for my family in just minutes.
Y'all, I am so excited about those 3 delicious dump and go packaged meals. It will allow me not to feel so stressed for what we're going to have for dinner during those weekends. And what I did to make it even easier for me is we keep our camper plugged in, so that way at any moment we can jump in and go. So we have it fully stocked, as I've mentioned in prior videos, of everything we need. All we need is our clothes and add the food, the fresh food that we need for our trip. I'm going to go ahead and put all 3 of those meals in the freezer, and that way I don't even have to remember to put them in the camper when we're ready to go. All we need is a few fresh items for the weekend, fresh fruit items, stock that little refrigerator, and then our clothes for the weekend, and that's all I need to remember to do for those future lacrosse tournaments that we're going to have to go to here in the fall. But most importantly, I hope this inspires you to sort of give yourself a little breather for months to come of getting everything packaged into a packaged meal, putting those in the freezers for you and your family. Or let's just say in the moment that you guys decide to say, hey, let's have some friends over this Friday or this Saturday evening, and you can just pull out that packaged freezer meal, and then you don't have to worry about anything else. Those are the moments that you can give yourself a break and not allow yourself to be too stressed out about having friends over, or thinking about meals when you're just too tired to think about planning a meal. You have those stored in your freezer for weeks to come. Friends, if you haven't already, please subscribe. In my next video, I'm going to share with you how to eat for one person for 7 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for only $20. So until next time, I hope you see you next week when I show you that video. But until then, please be safe, and most importantly, stay encouraged. And YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy these videos above.